I'm on Ray. If you've been following me a while, you might remember her. I've done quite a few videos of her. I had her in training a couple years ago, trained her to show working cow horse, shown her, did pretty good with her, and now she belongs to a non-pro rider who is showing her. And she has shown her, I think, 2 years. Last year, year before last, she boxed. Last year she did box drive box, and we're going to start playing with some fence classes towards the end of the year, or maybe after we get a show or two behind us. She's been practicing some fence work here. Horse is very cowy, has nice fence work. Can be a handful to ride. I mean, when she goes after cow, she's going. So you got to be able to ride a fence turn, because she will turn, whether you're ready or not. But the issue we're having with her is with her rein work. She anticipates lag on. When you put lag in the hip to ask for a lope departure or a lead change, she doesn't wait for the cluck. She doesn't wait for you to tell her to go. And that's causing some issues. And like when you put lag on her for your lead change, sometimes she's pushing back into it. So she's here for me to tune all that up. And what I have been doing with her, I've been just putting a lot of lag on, not loping off, not changing leads, just getting her back used to lag back in the hip. She's kind of a touchy feely horse. She always has been. And I know what's going on because of that, because she was a real feely horse. Her owner kept her legs off unless she was asking for something. She never really schooled leg very much. Never really schooled any of putting leg back and scoring and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm doing now is I'm just putting a lot of leg on her, moving her around, moving her back and forth, getting her back used to leg on, leg over here, push to the left, swap legs, push the hip to the right. And she was popping up some in the front end and doing all kind of stuff when she first came. I've been schooling this for a few days, and it's settled down a lot. And when you have a horse, any horse, and they start doing a little bit of something that you don't care for, the best thing to do is to address it right then, school it right then, and do a little bit of something depending on what the horse is doing, so it doesn't become a big problem. With her, it was just kind of ignored, and then it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and ended up being a problem. So now we have to spend time working just on that. So right leg back, push her hip over, and I want to make sure that the head goes the same direction the hip goes. That's going to be important for her lead changes. So hip to the right, head to the right, and get soft. Doing a lot of that, just back and forth, letting her walk and mixing in some transition. Let's go ahead and trot a little bit. Let's get her energy up a little bit. She tends to get a little bit hotter. I mentioned her in one of the videos I did the other day that she's the kind of horse that needs to be micromanaged. She thinks a lot. Her mind's bouncing around all the time. And if you don't micromanage her, she starts anticipating things and she starts doing things. And it's not everything like trying to be bad or get you off or anything, but it's stuff like this where she's anticipating the lope departure, or she's going to change leads before you ask, or she's going to do something in your pattern before you ask for it. There we go. Now I'll put left leg back and ask for a lope, and let's see what we get. Get her body right. She's not bringing her head to the right, so I'm bumping a little bit with my right leg up by the girth. She's looking at the guys that's working over there. Not gonna ask until she's right. See how she just kind of popped up and didn't go forward? Bump on her a little bit. Let's ask again. Get her right. She has shown one-handed in the bridle, but for all this, I'm riding her two-handed so that I can picture when she gets off. Face out. All right, now let's come down to a trot. Now we're going to come down to a walk. And I'm going to push her around, push her hip around. We're going to see what she does. Hip to the right. Good, not too bad. I'd like it to come more to the right and be softer, but she's not anticipating the lope departure. So one of the things that I'll do when they're anticipating the lope departure is I'll put leg on. Then if they're thinking about going faster, thinking about speeding up, I'll stop them and we'll back up. Back a circle. And let's go back forward again. Oh, forward. There we go. See how she kind of had a block? She did what she thought I was going to do instead of waiting for what I was going to, instead of what I asked her to do. Instead of waiting. And it's just constant mind games with the horse like this. Right leg back. Now that was pretty nice. Hip went to the left, head went to the left. And I should be able to control her head, what direction her head goes in, when I put leg on. If I put left leg on, I'll do that to push her hip to the right. Her head should go to the right. Her head to the She brought her head to the right, but she didn't bring her hip to the right. So I pushed a little harder. When the hip went over, then I released. Let's do that again. Left leg back. Hip to the right, head to the right, release. Good. That was really good for her, since we just loped a minute ago. Let's swap to one-handed and let's see what kind of response we get one-handed. Now I have her split rein. She's normally shown in Romel's for the cow horse. Right leg back. Good. We'll come up here and I'll ask right leg back in a minute, and I'll ask for a lope. We'll see what we get. And see how she's wanting. She's kind of acting a little antsy, wanting to go a little faster. I'm gonna let that get a little worse, and then, well, nope, she gave me a trot step. Back up, let's go again. Right leg back. I'm holding it because she's kind of pushing her shoulder into the right, waiting for her to get right, waiting for her to relax. Nope, she inverted. Let's do it again. Ask her to bridle up. We're going to do that lead again. When I smooched, she didn't lope. And then when she did, she had gotten her body bent the wrong way, picked up the wrong lead. All right, back to a walk. Put my right leg back and we'll see what happens. Okay, she didn't lunge forward, she didn't stop and back up, she didn't really push into my foot, she didn't get her face as soft and as hip as soft as I would like, but she didn't do anything terribly bad. That's pretty big progress. Right there, she pushed into my spur when I put it on her. I'm gonna hold it. Pushing into my spur. See the hip going to the right? Not really gonna do a whole lot, but when she gets soft, I'll release and release. With her, if you start fighting and pounding and getting, if you pick a fight, she will pick right back. She will fight with you. So with her, it's more of a mind game. I can't really just physically put it back. I can't pound on her and put it back. That wasn't too bad. I put leg on her and she bridled up nice. She brought her chin in. Let's do that again with my right leg. There we go. Right there, it's off of my right leg and the hip that her head is coming down and tilting to the left a little bit. Let's go the other direction. Let's work the left leg. I think the left leg is a little bit worse than the right leg. I think her owner's left leg is a little bit more unstable than her right, which is pretty typical for right-handed people. Let's put left leg back. Hold it a little bit. I started to release and release. Started to release it, but she kind of went back and forth with her hip. Didn't really soften. It's like she softened and expected to release and then pushed right back. She's walking a little bit faster than what I would like. Let's just ask for a backup. She's thinking forward. Let's mix it up to a backup. Now let's slide left leg back, push the hip over, nose to the right, and let's walk forward. There you go. And with her, it's constant mind games like this. She feels like she's thinking left, you steer right. She's thinking right, you steer left. She's thinking go faster, you go slower. Just constant do the opposite so that she waits. The pushing into the pressure in the hip is one issue, and then the not waiting is another issue. Two different issues. They're connected because what was happening when her owner put the leg back, and then she would lope off about 2 or 3 steps later, whether she was correct or not. So kind of two mistakes there that created the problem. And she's been coming and taking lessons, and we've been working on that to fix the problem. And then I've been working on Ray to fix Ray. It's part of the learning process. And anytime you are bringing your riding level up, you're working on becoming better, there's going to be mistakes made. And some of the mistakes, there's that kind of thing. And you have to fix you, and your trainer fix your horse, and you, there we go, that was nice. And then you go on from there. Let's do that again, left leg back. Good. Much, much better than it was. I didn't get video when she first came in, but when she first came in, I put leg back and she'd pop up and rear and jump and run backwards and all kind of stuff. Well, you can see just in this walk here, she walks with purpose, walks like she has someplace to go. And she's not really trying to not work. None of this is really to get out of work. She wants to go do something. She's actually, nose to the right, she's actually has a very good work ethic and really nice horse to ride and work and do stuff with. She just has to wait for me to tell her to do what to do. Whoa. So I'm going to quit with her on that today. The next thing I need to do is I need to get out in the big arena and work the same thing out there. Because when you walk out of the middle, she knows that lope departure comes. So we're going to have to work on that. Now that I have her leg, her moving her hip off of my leg fixed, we need to work on that issue because I know that issue's coming up. And they've got a show in a couple of weeks, and I'll let you know how to do. Again, this is Ray. She should have a playlist on YouTube. I'll put a link to it here somewhere. There's a horse running back and forth on the other side of the fence there. I'll put a link to it here somewhere. Until next time, thank you for watching.